Six Flags over Texas. We're finally fucking here. The line is insatiable, so let's get in. We're inside. We got flash passes. Dude, I'm so excited to be here. I worked like 84 hours. And the entire 84 hours, all I could think about is getting a fucking day off away from that fucking place. It sucks so bad. So we're here for 8 hours. 8 fucking hours. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm really excited to be here today because this place is fucking booming. Everyone decided to say, fuck COVID, and they just came to Six Flags today. Fuck social distancing, Six Flags said, bring your ass. So everybody's here. Everybody and their mama, and their grandma, and their aunts, their uncles. So, it's great. So officially, Batman the Ride is also closed. That's 3. One of your premier rides is closed. So, you probably guessed where we are. Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. This is probably one of my favorite rides here anyway. So, I don't mind riding it first. But it's a little afternoon and we still haven't got our first ride, so let's see how it goes. Bro, finally got the first ride of the day on Mr. Freeze, no less. I gotta tell you, man, I haven't rode in like 2 weeks, and the first ride of the day is probably the most intense ride at the park. Let's break the video. Let's break the ride down. Theming for the ride is really good. You've got like a candy factory there, so it's not really bad theming, a really good theming. They are also running 2-car ops. Did you hear that? 2-car ops. There'll be 2 loading sections. One side will load, the other one will launch, and vice versa. The ride itself, it's a backwards launch, so it's pretty intense, not gonna lie. I gotta tell you, we did a review at Magic Springs this past week, and that one ride made me feel like I'd had more fun in a long time than I ever would have at Magic Springs in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Also because of the fact that that is probably one of my favorite rides, period. I love Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. You feel a lot of G-forces coming off that first initial launch when you start going up backwards. I did sit in the back, so I did get quite a bit of hang time when I was coming back over the top hat. You don't get much hang time going over the, or at least it doesn't feel like you get a lot of hang time once you go over the top hat backwards. But coming back, you can definitely feel in the back the significant difference in hang time, and probably my favorite part of the ride. Mr. Freeze, I'm gonna give it a 10, man. Like, easily a 10. The ride is great, the theming's great, the intensity's great. The ride's a closed circuit, so you really only get, I think the ride's about 45 seconds to a minute long. Great ride though, great ride. We'll definitely ride it a couple more times before we leave here today. Great ride, check it out. Definitely recommend. If you come here to Six Flags Over Texas or Six Flags St. Louis, highly recommend Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. Alright, man, it's got off Shockwave, man. I'm probably gonna ride it again. I need a little bit more G-force in my life. I got a stuffy head. So we're gonna ride it again because there's no line. But yeah, there was nothing in Gotham City as far as people go. As like it took us like a whole 5 minutes to get on Mr. Freeze, and this one was less than that. I actually had to wait for people to come instead of waiting to get in line. So I was the only person in line. So, but Shockwave is good. Original loop coaster. Please don't ask me to pronounce the manufacturer because I can't. Okay, maybe I can. I just choose not to struggle that bad. Proper English language says it's the hardest to sit there and learn, but put German names in front of us and we're like, oh, what's up? But sat in the back row and had a great ride. Lift hill was decent. The double loops. First drop kind of suffers a bit. Not really that intense. But you go to the first drop and then you hit the double loops. And there are 3 or 4 bouts of ejector airtime. I don't think you get them sitting in the front. I think you really only get them in the back. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I rode in the front, but I was sitting in the back and I got some good bouts of ejector airtime there. So I was really pleased with it. But I'd recommend this ride sitting in the back. Sitting in the back. Don't put your seatbelt all the way tight to you, and don't staple yourself with your lap bar. Just kind of, you know, give yourself a little bit of space, and you'll be able to enjoy the ride a lot more. So lots of fun. It was my understanding that they were actually filling up the water rapids yesterday. So we're gonna head over here and see what's going with that. There doesn't appear to be anyone here, but the staff members are here and they are sanitizing the area. So I'm only assuming that it will eventually come open sometime real soon. You can see the water coming off the mountain side or whatever. So for anyone who hasn't rode it here, there may yet be hope for you, because I know they drained it, because we were looking at it when we were riding Shockwave. You can see it as you're coming up the lift hill and you make that right turn before you get the first drop, and it looks kind of abandoned. It looks nasty. So I think they were kind of filling it up. Somebody posted in one of the Facebook groups I'm in that they were filling it up. So all right, like always, New Texas Giant Smacks. I will say this. Review, theming, meh. Ride itself, really, really fun. It used to be smooth. I rode this ride a lot. Used to be very, very smooth. I don't know, something feels different now with it. It's almost like it's the ride itself is kind of running over something as it's on the track. It feels a little like ba-doom, 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 ba-doom with the ride. Where normally the last time I rode it, it was a very, very smooth ride. The ride itself is still smooth as you're sitting down. You're not getting jerked around or anything, but it just kind of feels a little bumpy, I guess it would say. If you ever been driving down the road or you rode a bike and ran over a rock, that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like the train is jumping every section of the track. I'm not sure if that's a mechanical problem or if Six Flags knows about it, but I've ridden it enough to know that whereas before, the last time I rode it, it was just a smooth ride, smooth as a baby's ass, and then today it was the opposite of that. So not really sure what's going on with that. If anybody else has rode it and noticed it, or maybe it was always like that and I'm just now noticing it because I'm riding it so much. So I'm just going to kind of leave that out of the review, just throwing that out there. If you guys have seen it, felt it, and kind of noticed it, and if it's a new thing, comment down in there, say something in the comments so that way we can, you know, have a discussion about it, because that's a very weird thing for me. I rode a lot of RMCs, and like Iron Rattler in Fiesta, Texas, not that problem. Smooth as a baby's ass. Wonder Woman, smooth as a baby's ass. Six Flags St. Louis don't have one, so can't be the judge there. So Texas Giant, I'm gonna give it a 9, man. It lacks intensity. It's a great ride. It is a really, really great ride, but I don't really think it's the caliber of ride that would grant it to be a 10. I think where it has height and duration and airtime, it's got a lot of ejector airtime. Well, not a lot, but it's got some ejector airtime. It lacks intensity. It's the one thing it lacks. If it had like intense moments of the ride, lateral forces, G forces, or something like that, it would definitely, you know, make a 10. But I don't see it being a 10. 10 is like best of the best type of rides, and I view Texas Giant to be a good ride, but I don't view it to be the best ride. Out of the two between Texas Giant and Titan, Texas Giant is definitely the better ride. Titan has better speed and more height and more G-force effects on the ride, where Texas Giant does not. But the overall ride on Texas Giant is way better and more enjoyable than Titan is. But I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. That's still a good rating for a ride, and I think I'm being very generous by giving it a 9 with the tracks being the way that they felt today. So yeah, give it a 9 out of 10. We're going to make our way over to the only hypercoaster in Texas, I think. Titan, which is supposed to be a Goliath clone, which is not. People who say it's just a clone of Goliath, it is not. But we're going to head over there and get us some more water and head our asses over there, because I'm ready to see if I'm going to pass out on that double helix. Alright, man. I'm just gonna say it. Lateral forces on this ride are fucking incredible. By far. See, this is one of those rides where I know it's really not all that good, but I ride it anyway, you know. But usually when I would ride the ride, it'd be like me and then like 3 people. But today, there was actually a line where we had to wait in line today at Titan. And when we got on the ride, everybody was full. Like, there's still a line going there. So having more people here and new people riding the rides, I'll give you a good example. This little girl, this dad and his little girl are waiting in line. They're waiting right next to me. She's freaking out. Like, I mean, she's alligator tears, the whole 9 yards. She's freaking out. She's like, Daddy, it's tall. Daddy, it's tall. And anyway, I told her, I said, turn around. And I took the dad's pen and put a mark on the back of my neck. And she was sitting behind me. And I said, just look at the back of my neck. And then her dad was talking to her the whole time. And then she got off the ride. She actually enjoyed it. So, good things, man. The ride, duration's pretty decent. Fairly long ride. The height is over 200 feet tall. So it's got good on the height. The first drop is shit. But man, the G-forces on the ride at the double helix, I think you're supposed to reach top speeds of 91 miles per hour. So the forces, the G-forces on the double helix, man, it's intense. You know, it's real intense. So I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed that ride. First time I rode it today. So it was actually a really fun ride. I'm gonna give it an 8. The reason I'm giving it an 8 is because technically the first drop is kind of that one as if the Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. Anybody that's ever been to Six Flags Over Georgia, you got your first drop, you go up the B&M Hypercoaster, you go up and you have the big drop, which is really not a straight down drop, but it's more like a big hill. And then you kind of go straight into a tunnel, and then you come up at a good angle, and then you make a right bank turn and backtrack to get ready for the double helix. Whereas Goliath, there's a double helix in Goliath, and the lift hill is the same, or the first drop is the same, but Goliath is just overall better. There was absolutely no air time. No air time at all. I'm sitting in the back, so, and I mean, okay, I take it back, with absolutely no air time. There was one airtime hill where I got a little bit of ejector air time. Aside from that, not really much, man. Like I said, the best part of the ride is the double helix. It's the most intense part of the ride. There was a head chopper moment there. So, yeah, man, it gets an 8, man. I'm sorry, dude. It's just, it's not like top notch, like 10 out of 10 ride. But it is a good ride. Not the first time, not the second time, and especially third time it's not a charm here. The theming of the ride is halfway blah. The ride itself is, it's a family ride, so don't expect much from an enthusiast point of view. The ride's really bumpy if you're not fluffy at all. If you have no ass like me, You're gonna come up and you're gonna come out of the seat. You're gonna hit the seat really, really hard, really uncomfortable on your ass cheeks and your ass bone and your tailbone. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. But we're gonna go see if Batman the Ride's open yet. All right, man. Batman the Ride's still not open. Still not running any cars. So I mean, we're just gonna call it, man. Yeah, we're gonna call it. I'm still gonna ride some more. I'm gonna go to Titan. I still have my Flash Pass for Texas Giant, so I'm hoping to get some rides in on Titan and Texas Giant, and we'll just rotate between the two for an hour and a half or so until they close. I have done a review on Batman the Ride already in my 50 ride challenge video, which I'll link in the description. Man, it's a good ride. Just sad that we couldn't, review it today, doing a full park review. So, but I mean, it's not my fault. As far as staff-wise and operations go, I'm gonna have to give it about a 5 out of 10. The operations today were very poor. The only reason I'm giving it a 5 and not anything less is because this is my home park and I come here quite often, and I've never seen as many rides closed today since I've been coming here all summer long. This has been the first day where rides have been closed, multiple rides at a time. So that's why we're giving it a 5. Ride. Anyway, rideability and the rides here, decent rides when they're running. So nothing too crazy. Aquaman, no updates on it. It'll be out next summer. It's not going to be done by this summer. Roaring Rapids still not open. They are installing. I think they're going to open it this summer. I don't know for sure. But let's see what else is there. Food. It's amusement park food. Can't really review food here. Hit and miss. Johnny Rockets is the best. Pizza here is trash. So kind of get what you pay for type of thing. So don't have really high expectations about the food. I usually stick with the barbecue. It's fairly good, but overall, not a bad day. Overall as a whole, not a bad day. We're able to get 3 rides in on Mr. Freeze. And now we're gonna go ride Titan again. We were able to ride Texas Giant twice. I think we're gonna ride it a 3rd time. We're probably gonna ride Titan twice. So we're just gonna kind of do the enthusiast thing until they push us out of the park. So it'll be fun. And like I said, man, I've had fun. I'm glad I actually came here today. I feel pretty fucking good to be here. But I will tell you this, it is fucking hot, man. Like, no lie. Like it's hotter than a hooker's doorknob on payday. That is how hot it is. It is really hot. But it's not like one of those normal humid hots. It's one of those dry heat hots. But overall, great day. And we're not through yet. We still got an hour and a half. So let's make the best of it. right, man, that's it. Final ride of the day done. Great productive day for 8 hours. Overall rating review of the park, give it about a 7.5. Operations were questionable today, so that's the main reason why that score's so low. But yeah, we're out of here. 12 days. We'll be heading to San Antonio, Texas for SeaWorld, and then Six Flags Fiesta, Texas for 2 days. That's Saturday and Sunday. So y'all take it easy, and until next time, peace.